Hello friends, Vinyl Community, Wes here, back with another episode of Vinyl Survivor. This is the series where I sort of, after cleaning and listening to the records I bought, I sort of go through and tell you what I decided to keep, what's going in the collection, and what's going out in the to be gotten rid of box. So, first off, got a pretty good stack of stuff here. Only two things didn't make it this time, so let's go ahead and show those real quick. The first one that didn't make it was Culture Club's Waking Up with the House on Fire. This is their third album, and later, admittedly, by the band, this album was very rushed. After the success of the first two albums, they rushed this one out. It's not their best work. It's even political at times, which I'm the first one in line usually for a political song, but for some reason, not Culture Club. I don't really want to hear a political message from them. I want something fun and danceable and sing-alongable, and that's just not this album. So that one's not making it in the collection. That one's gonna go to somebody else. And this other one that didn't make it was this comedy album, Bert Henry, Position is Everything. Kind of a sort of a small press, Fax Records. Never heard of them. But he's not a very good comedian. It's not very funny at all. His timing is really bad. Yeah, this isn't that great. I mean, it's better than I can do, but he's not a very good comedian, so there's no reason to add this to the collection. I won't be listening to that again. So, moving on to the stuff that is going in the collection, the stuff that made the cut. We have another Pete Fountain album. This is New Orleans at Midnight. This one's pretty nice. Not much to say. I do like Pete Fountain every once in a while. Next up we have the soundtrack to Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome. Add this one to my soundtrack collection. You know, you gotta have We Don't Need Another Hero by Tina Turner, and some good instrumental sort of action sort of music on here, so that's cool. It's a nice one to add to the collection. Here's a comedy album that did make it. This is Bill Cosby's Revenge. Bill Cosby's classic, and pretty easy to collect, so I pick him up whenever I see him, and this is another one to add to that collection. Next up we got a 12-inch from ABC. This is probably their most popular single, Be Near Me. Yeah, that was cool. I do like Be Near Me, and it was cool to find this, add this to the collection. And next up we have Culture Club that did make it. This is Kissing to Be Clever. This one has Do You Really Want to Hurt Me, I'll Tumble For You, all that stuff like that. I think this is their first album, 82. But it's a classic. Next up we have another Roaches album. This is just their self-titled album. If you don't know the Roaches, they're sort of an urban folk music is where I would put them. It's folk music, but it's songs about diners and trains and all the stuff you would deal with in an urban setting. Really sort of lighthearted, upbeat, funny at times, just really enjoyable when you're in the mood for that kind of folky kind of music. Robert Fripp is the producer of the Roaches, so he's on there playing guitar and whatnot. So that's a cool add to the collection. Next up, another classic here. We got Changes One by Bowie. I don't have much Bowie, so it's nice to have this sort of hits album to sort of fill in some of the things I don't have. A lot of great stuff on here. You got Space Oddity and Ziggy Stardust and Suffragette City and Rebel Rebel, Young Americans, Fame, and just Golden Years. You know, it's a hits album, so it's got a lot of good stuff on here, and that one's a good one for me to have. This next one blew my mind. If you seek out anything I talk about today at all, this is the one to get. This is John Martyn's Glorious Fool. This is a promo copy, so it has this, but there's actually a house down here, so if you're looking for this record, you see like a picture of sky, and then there's a house sort of down there in the middle. But John Martyn is a Scottish guitarist, and it's hard to explain what this is like. I guess the first thing I'll say is this is produced by Phil Collins, and it also features Phil Collins, of course, plays drums on here, as well as some other things. But it's really hard to place this music in any kind of genre. It's kind of that 80s. I don't know. I mean, it's incredible. The songs on here, Phil Collins drumming on here it's like wow. I don't know. It really hits me. The last track, there's a track at the end called "Don't You Go," where Phil Collins plays the drums and John Martyn sings, and that's it. And it's just an incredible song. It's one of those great album enders that makes you want to start the album over again. You know, after you hear it, you're like, all right, I'm starting this album right over again. So definitely, absolutely get this if you ever see it anywhere. This is a must-have. Just great songs, a lot of variety. There's more poppy stuff, more rocky stuff, a little bit jazzy, almost like a sort of new wavy a little bit, with a little bit of a electronic thing going on there. But yeah, this is definitely a must-buy. Next up, we have another classic here. This is Al Stewart's "Year of the Cat." This has got a Hypnosis cover, and it was produced by Alan Parsons at Abbey Road, so it's kind of got a lot of good things going for it. And of course, the song "Year of the Cat" is one of those sort of great 70s AM gold kind of songs to it. But the album itself is actually really good. It's better than I expected it to be, and yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping this added to the collection. Good songs. Next up, the album that got me started on Pete Fountain. This was out of my grandmother's collection. It's The Blues. I talked a bunch recently about this in one of the threads, so I don't need to talk about that anymore. This next album is another Goodwill find. This is Rod Stewart's Absolutely Live. This was kind of an enjoyable listen. Just a fun live concert. It's a good concert, I think. Sometimes the live concerts aren't that great, but the energy really comes through on this album, and I enjoyed listening to it. So I'll definitely be keeping this one around, and it's on the Qui-X 2 vinyl, which I really do like. It's nice. It is very quiet, really nice sounding. So it's that. Next up, something I bought last year or the year before, maybe. This is a movie I really love, and I happened to see that they had the soundtrack on vinyl, and it was really cheap, so I ordered it a while back, but finally got around to actually digitizing it and cataloging it and everything, so it can go in the collection for good now. This is Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Just a sort of fun, young adult kind of movie. Back in those days in your early 20s when you're just out with your friends, running around, going to see bands, and just having fun, enjoying life, and enjoying freedom. And that's kind of what this movie's about. And I really do love it, and love the soundtrack. So this is a nice add to the collection. And the last thing we got here, one more Pete Fountain album. This is Pete's Place. as you see, I sort of went through my collection and dug out all of Pete Fountain, and I've been adding, a couple, two or three here and there into my rotation list to just try to get them through the process of digitizing and cataloging and get them in the collection, so I kind of have a better feel for what I have and whether I want to collect more or not. But this is another one that was nice to listen to, so I'll definitely be keeping it. So that was Vinyl Survivor number 4. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you at least got something to look for down the road. Hope everyone's doing okay. Hope everyone's week is going well, and we'll see you again real soon. Cheers.